And we have a lot to talk about. I kind of, well, we'll talk about when she comes out here. She was the first full-time girl on Home Improvement. She's graced the covers of Playboy magazine more than any other playmate, appearing over 4 times. Currently, she plays lifeguard C.J. Parker on the phenomenal hit show Baywatch. Please join me in welcoming Pamela Anderson. Hi there.
Hi.
How are you?
Well, don't laugh at my voice. My voice is really shot.
Why?
I have a
What
little
happened?
bit of a flu. Well, I was in the water on Friday, and it was kind of cold, and I think I just caught a little something. But that was the last day of Baywatch until we go to Hawaii. So.
Are you on your 5-month hiatus now?
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that
Yeah,
nice?
it's gonna be
Isn't that
great.
nice? I think of you because I live down where you shoot, and I sometimes ride my bike by there, but I've got the sunglasses on and everything. I see you all out in the water there, and I think, oh my God, it must be so cold.
Yes, it was cold.
Do you grease up or anything?
Well, just a little suntan oil, but we don't wear wetsuits in the water or anything.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
I mean, it's fun. It's fun. It's not that bad. It does sound really bad.
Remember, I met you, oh, was it like 3-4 years ago?
Yeah, and I'll never forget. That was great.
Well, I saw her. You took me back to where I was, 20 years ago, and at this ABC party,
Yeah.
and I see this beautiful woman standing there, and you're looking very vulnerable and kind of like
In fear.
Yeah, not knowing what's going on. And I remember being exactly that at that same affiliates party when I first started out, and I went over to you, and you have a very special quality. And besides, I know you're beautiful and everything, but your eyes, you had this vulnerability. And I remember telling you something. What was it?
I know, you just came up to me and you said, you're going to be a big star. And then you looked to my manager and said, now take care of her because she's going to go places. And I thought that was just so wonderful because I really hadn't had a lot of compliments like that, especially from, I just didn't expect that at all. And it was the first time I'd ever gone anywhere by myself.
Yes.
The first time I ever got the paparazzi and all the attention all at once. And so I was just in shock, and my eyes were this big. And you came up to me and you kind of reassured me, and I felt really good. And because my manager now, Ray Manzella, is good friends with you, and he goes, I'm very good friends with Suzanne. I was like, I have to talk to her again.
Well, here we are, talking intimately in front of, 50 million people. It's just you and me. But it is overwhelming, isn't it?
It's very overwhelming.
And you come from a little small place of, where, in Vancouver?
On Vancouver Island, Ladysmith. I grew up in a town of 2,000 people.
And that has to be a huge shock to come from 2,000 people.
Right, it was. I went to a football game. People kind of know the story already, but picked out of the stands. And
well, you were sitting in the stands, right?
Yes.
And then what happened?
The cameraman zoomed in on me, and I had a Labatt's Blue Zone T-shirt on, which was a beer in Canada. And they pulled me down to the 50-yard line to do a draw in front of 50,000 people. And they said, "What's your name, young lady?" And I said, "Pamela Anderson." They said, "This is Pamela Anderson, the Blue Zone girl," because that was on my T-shirt. And the game was sponsored by Foster's Lager, another beer, and Labatt's got all this press, and so they hired me to do some commercials and a poster.
And then that started it.
And then Playboy flew me down to LA for a cover, and I was just I was very flattered. I couldn't believe they asked me to be on a Playboy cover, my first one.
You couldn't?
And I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
But I phoned my mom. And asked her, and there was a little bit of silence at the end of the line. And she went, "You know what, Pamela, I would do it. I think you should do it."
Really?
Yeah, because if you look back on that when you're older and you really it's a compliment.
Yeah. Well, I was in Playboy a number of years ago, and I always thought, when I'm 80, this will be really fun.
Yeah.
Show my grandkids. Look at Grams here,
I know.
So, something happened today that I want to give you a chance to talk about because, once again, we have these parallels in our life, and that is that the tabloids can be so unbelievably cruel. And I do recall in my own career, about the same time in my career as yours is right now, that I woke up one morning and my mug shots were on the cover of the National Enquirer. The difference is, I really was arrested one time for a check that bounced. If you want to know, please read my book, Keeping Secrets. You'll hear the
I've
whole
read the book.
story. Yeah, right. But what happened to you today isn't true. So would they say, and then tell your side of it?
Oh, it's devastating to me because I've always been very anti-drug and anti-alcohol and all that. And so they said that I was went to emergency for a heroin overdose and that I was in detox, and they said that I took a certain kind of heroin. They had named China something. I mean, I've never even seen heroin. I don't know what it looks like. I don't smoke anything. I mean, I never have done drugs at all, so it was just completely devastating to me. I was a wreck today.
Because I mean, your whole background is fitness and
health, and I grew up in an alcoholic home, so I can relate a lot to your book.
Exactly.
When I read it, and I mean, that's the last thing that I want to become or anything. So when I read it, I completely had a heart attack. I couldn't believe it. I did an interview a while ago with Howard Stern, and I was driving home and I was listening to Howard Stern, and they were reading an article in the Inquirer saying that Pamela is in detox for heroin. I almost ran off the road. I said, I can't believe
Yeah, really.
that.
Well, what they don't think about is it won't hurt your career. In olden times, you know, the early starlets of many years ago, something like this could really harm a career. Strangely enough, in today's day and age, it probably will just be another layer to add to your career. But that isn't what's interesting. It hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's devastating. It's
and
really,
your family.
Yeah, I haven't talked to them about it yet because this is all just happening now. I was talking to my brother. My brother got so angry. He got me more angry, and then I just couldn't. It was just because he knows. He said, because I'm so anti-drug, and I talk to my friends who dabble in little things, and I make sure that they don't. I mean, I'm really against it.
Right.
So the fact that I remember when Ray first told me. Actually, this happened on the weekend. I kind of first heard, and he goes, "Pamela, I hear that you're in a detox for heroin." I went, "Well, at least I'm in detox, you know." But, I mean, I just was joking about it. But then it really got blown out of. And Baywatch is all over the world, so this just isn't in America that I'm hearing about this. It's in England, in Germany, in Italy, in Australia, in the whole world.
1 billion people a week watch. 1 billion people a week watch Baywatch. That is, there's never been a show like this in the history of television. Right. So all of this, they don't think of your mom.
I know, my mom, I can't imagine what she's going through right now.
Well, she knows.
Yeah,
I mean, she knows the truth,
everybody
but it
knows.
does hurt.
It does, I know, because she gets offended by that.
Well, what are you going to do?
Sue them. I'm going to do something, because I think there's not 1 ounce of truth. They can take my blood, they can do anything they want, they can search everything they want, and they know that I've never done drugs. And I actually went to the hospital last weekend in emergency. The paramedics came and everything because I fainted and kind of went into a mini seizure.
What
was
that about?
Well, my boyfriend's a diabetic, and Brett, and we were at his place, and 4 o'clock in the morning he got up with a really low blood sugar at about 36. And I got up and I went downstairs to then make sure he was okay and get him some sugar in him. And my legs kind of gave it underneath me. And I thought, this is really strange. And I fainted before, so I sat down on the couch. I tried putting my head between my knees, but I guess that's the wrong thing to do because I don't remember anything after that.
Really?
And he called the paramedics and everything to come down, and I went to the hospital and they did all these kind of tests. I was there for about 4 hours, and it ended up that I have a anxiety panic kind of disorder. So this whole thing, the tabloids now, is not helping the situation. But
well,
I fainted, and it was just overexhaustion.
And your life has changed 100%.
Completely.
I mean, who couldn't understand anxiety, panic attacks? Nothing is like it was.
Nothing at all. Everything has completely changed, and I'm really grateful to be working, and I'm really happy because I know there's not a lot of actors out of work, and I'm very happy. But there's a lot of things that come with it. You don't just go to work 9 to 5. You know, you're rehearsing, and you have so many other things. And I want to do a lot of business. That's what I respect about you too, because you have so many things going. You know, you had business things. You did Thigh Master. You do all that kind of stuff. It has to be a business. You have to be smart about it and realize that you're going to go through different phases in your career.
But I can remember being overwhelmed also. It's just, but I had my husband, Alan, always, who was, had been in the business for so long. You don't have a husband who is in the business. You have your brother, Jerry, who is someone you can lean on. Is he a manager also? Or Ray Mansell is your manager, but
yes.
Does Jerry advise you?
Jerry's great to have with me because he moved down here a couple years ago.
He's younger though, right?
Yes, he's 23.
23.
And he is such a down-to-earth, normal, real person, and he really puts things in perspective for me. So today he got really angry with me. He said, "Pamela, you should just let this bounce off you. You should have thick skin. You should just let everything bounce off you." And I said, "I don't ever want to be that way.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to be that way." And so if it affects me, it affects me.
Right.
And he's just kind of put things in perspective, and he's really, really wonderful and very supportive. But, you know, if anything if I get overly excited about anything, he goes, "Pamela, come on."
So he's your reality check. I
Yes.
think that's really important to have somebody to check in like that, who says, well, you know, no, you don't look your best today. You know,
Yeah,
because everyone's going to say you look great all the
terrible.
time. Right.
Yeah.
But well, we have so much to talk about. Let me take a break right now. When we come back, we'll talk with Pamela how she's coping with the demands of fame. We'll have psychotherapist Dr. Susan Forward. We'll talk about the psychological effects of stardom, which I think will be very... Yes, right. Okay, hang on till she gets here. Okay, don't go away. We're back with my special guest, Pamela Anderson. We're talking about the demands. I know having a career like Pamela's looks like it's just every day is incredible, but it is very hard. You're from a small town. You grew up really a small town girl. You must have just been a sensation in your small town, though.
Really?
Not really? No, were you just, you know,
I was a tomboy. I was very athletic in school, and I kind of got a lot of attention for that, but not for, I mean, I never wore hair. I never wore makeup or did my hair or anything like that.
I don't know if you noticed, but when I first came, I didn't know how to do my makeup. I didn't know how to comb my hair. I didn't know how to dress. When I first look at the original Three's Companies, it's a totally different person than at the end of the series, because you come here and they start doing you.
Right.
What's the first thing people did to you to make a change?
Just, you know, the eyeliner, everything. I mean, I never really had makeup on my face before, so just establishing a look. Yeah. And I work with a lot of different makeup artists, and now I have some really great makeup artists that I work with all the time.
Yeah. And they're learned things, because people always say, you know, why can't I look like the people that we see on screen? But we have all these people that teach us how to do it. And
I look at myself 4 years ago, and I look completely different.
Yeah, right. We have a similarity, and we'll just generalize, because I know you don't want to be specific, but everybody knows I come from an alcoholic background, and my dad and everything. But you have it on your side of the family, too. What I really want to know is not anything specific about that, but when you grow up with that, how does it affect you? And do you think that out of it came positives?
Well, out of it definitely came positives, but when I was little, I guess I lived kind of more in an imaginary world. And I think that kind of obviously lent to my imagination, and everything is kind of helping me with what I'm doing now. But my grandfather was my whole savior. Like, I think you had a grandparent in your life.
Right.
I was reading your book, and I was going through it going, oh my, I can't believe the similarity.
Same story.
Same story. And my parents are great. They're absolutely wonderful people, and I love them very much, and they've come a long way, and they really are doing a lot better. But they had me when they were very young, when they were 17 and 19, and it was a hard life for them, and they've always struggled. But now it's great, because what I'm doing, I was able to, you know, buy their house and pay for all their bills. They got a new lease on life, so.
Really? You bought them a house?
Yes, so even if I don't do anything more than here, at least I've set them up, and nobody has any bills anymore. And
was that like a fantasy when you were a little girl? I hope one day I can grow up and...
Well, yeah, but I didn't think I'd ever be able to do it. I think it's everybody's fantasy to help out their parents, especially if they struggle. Yeah,
I remember when this first started for me, I bought my parents a Cadillac, because my mother had always said she wanted a Cadillac, so I bought her a Cadillac, and it was a thrill. Yeah. It almost is selfish in a way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's more fun for you.
Yeah.
But why was your grandfather so important?
Well, my grandfather, he was an interesting man. People kind of thought he was a little kooky, but...
He was Finnish?
He was Finnish. He was from Finland. And he was very, very spiritual, and he taught me how to meditate when I was 7 years old. I didn't really know what I was doing at that time, and he used to teach me kind of in metaphors. I don't know if you ever read the book, The Peaceful Warrior.
No.
It's a wonderful, wonderful book, and it's very similar to how my grandfather kind of taught me.
How did he teach you to meditate? Because it's a very difficult thing to teach someone, especially a little child.
Well, it was about escaping something. If something was painful, to go down to the beach and look at, you know, natural objects, or look out into the ocean and fantasize, or just learn how to breathe, and learn how that, he said, you know, Pamela, you're not an extension of your parents, you're where you live or anything. You're a brand new life put on this planet, and you can do whatever you want with it. And you know, it really stuck with me. And he used to always tell me I was going to be a big star, but I didn't think of TV. I just thought, he goes, you can do anything you want with your life. Don't set any false limitations on yourself. And so I kind of, I mean, I had the same mind in my head as I did when I was young. I was just thought that, you know, I got 15 years of, in about 10 years, I'll be out of high school, and then I'll be doing this. You know, this is a little girl. I'm thinking way far ahead. And
so he was very enlightened, though, especially 20 years ago. That's very enlightened thinking. A lot of people are thinking now about that there is energy in all living things, from mineral to plant to animal to... But that's a more new age thinking.
Yeah, so that's kind of strange. And he always took care of himself really well. He had rheumatic fever as a child, and he wasn't supposed to make it past 16, but without the aid of any doctor, he cured himself, like healed himself. He died when he was 61, but he made all his funeral arrangements before he went into the hospital. It was the first time he'd seen a doctor. The family kind of said, you know, you're 61, you got to go see a doctor.
Yeah.
And he used to eat so healthy, like the grape nuts and the you know, the no sugar and no fat and all fruit, and he was just so good. And he used to meditate, and he used to actually lock himself in his room for like months at a time to confront his unconscious, and he was very, very into Carl Jung and philosophy and mythology and symbolism and mythology, and in your dreams, he wrote down his dreams every morning.
Because he taught you to interpret your dreams.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, I've always wondered when I have a dream of someone chasing me, what does it mean?
Well, the symbolism in dreams is different for everybody. I don't really agree with the books that have like these little things that kind of go along with the dreams. I think once you start writing down your dreams over a long period of time and writing in a journal, you start seeing patterns. And it's just interesting to see how your mind works and your unconscious works, because dreams are your unconscious and kind of gives you messages.
You should write a book about that, because very few people know how to interpret dreams, and you seem to have, when I was reading all the material on you, I thought she really has a hook on that. Everybody pulling at you now? Are you being pulled from this side to that side? Everybody want you, everybody want a piece of you, all the men want something from you, women,
yeah, it's very difficult with your managers and your agents and boyfriends and things. I mean, I have a very good nice boyfriend right now, Brett. He's really wonderful and helpful, and he's really looked after me last week since I've been sick. Yeah. He's really, really sweet.
Is it serious?
Well, I've been dating him for 5 months, and we've had our ups and downs, but we've, it's very positive, and it's really a lot of fun. He's a sweetie.
What's a typical day like for Pamela Anderson now?
It just seems like there's not enough time in a day. I think, God, I wish there was days were 48 hours long. Yeah. You know, then I could kind of do things, or there was 2 of me, because if I wake up in the morning at 4:30 call sometimes for hair and makeup on Baywatch, I get to the set and I work all day until sundown, till now it's 6 o'clock. And after that, I probably do interviews, a couple interviews, relax. I have my dog. I bring my dog to the set every day. I was going to bring my dog here.
Yeah, I thought you were going to bring him today.
Star, but my brother actually was supposed to pick him up, and he got stuck in traffic, and so he had to meet me earlier.
The dog stuck in traffic? Oh,
he was stuck in traffic, so he couldn't go get my dog.
Are you sleeping? Can you sleep? Because I can remember I had trouble sleeping when it was all first starting.
I've been having trouble sleeping in the last couple weeks, but before that, I mean, I can sleep through anything.
Well, I want to talk about anxiety and the pressures of fame, and so when we come back, the renowned psychotherapist Dr. Susan Forward will come out and help both of us, okay? Yes. Don't go away. We're back with Baywatch star Pamela Anderson. In fact, this was you that the gingerbread lady made this for you, Pamela.
Oh, I'm very flattered, thank you.
Yes, right. And joining us, so you take that home, and I wouldn't eat it because she sprays it with some kind of acrylic something, and God knows, you'll be throwing up, you know. Anyway, joining me is a woman that I respect a lot. I've listened to you on the radio, and she's a best-selling author, and I've read many of your books, by the way. Dr. Susan Forward, so nice to have you here. So you've been listening to Pamela. What's your take right now as you kind of synthesize what you've heard the last 10 minutes?
Well, I'm very impressed with the fact that Pamela is not just depending on externals, that she's paying some attention to the human being inside. And I think that's what helps young actors stay grounded, because it is, I used to make my living as an actress. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that.
But I never was a star. I mean, I was like, you know, doing featured leads and things. And I understand the business, and I understand what happens to people, because you become, you're in an unreal world. You really do start to believe that you're the center of the universe. And it's very difficult to not believe that, because people are treating you that way. And you forget about a lot of the values that keep us all kind of centered. And there is a great sense of self-importance. You forget to laugh at yourself. And people are telling you yes all the time. You very seldom get to hear no, right, because they want to please you. And if you come into that world with this insatiable need for affection, for approval, for a sense of the business is going to make me feel like I'm really okay, and it doesn't. And that's where people really make the mistake. The business, no business, all the money, all the fame, all the success, whatever business it is, and especially show business, doesn't fill in the empty spaces. Because first of all, it's highly competitive, it's highly insecure. There's always the sense it can be taken away from me tomorrow. I've heard famous actors say, every time I did a film, I was convinced it was my last job. That's how insecure, right, that most actors are. So you've got to really pay some attention to whatever has happened to you as a child, as an adolescent, and start to do some repair work so that you're not looking to the industry to fill in those empty spaces. Right. Because what happens in people, they don't feel it, and they get disappointed, and they turn to drugs, they turn to alcohol, they turn to a lot of sexual acting out, because anything that will help now heal the disappointment that they're feeling, because it's basically, is that all there is? And what it is a job. It's a wonderful job, it's creative, but it's really a job that you do with a lot of people paying attention to you. And you've got to be able to look at it that way.
What about, you know, Pamela's a sex symbol.
Yeah.
How difficult is it to deal with that? Because now that there's another level, you know, it's not, she's beyond beautiful. She's desired by most all men, I would imagine.
We know.
And probably women.
What happened. We know what happened to a lot of sex symbols. We know what happened to Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
We know that it is not an easy route to go because, again, how long do you have to hold on to that? So that maturing and aging and the wisdom that comes with that is not valued. All that's valued is your body and your face, and that's a terrible thing to base your self-worth on. I mean, as women, we're all taught that, you know, we're supposed to be pretty and seductive, and we all want to be that way, but my God, if that's all you've got going for you, and if that's all you're valued for, because you have intelligence, you have spirituality, but if all that you're rewarded for is how you look on the outside, then there's an awful thing that you start to shrivel inside, and I don't think you're going to do that. I think you're going to be okay.
Good.
Who knows? I don't have a crystal ball, but it sounds as if you realize that you've got to pay some attention to the inner you, because that's where we all live, is inside ourselves.
What are you thinking when you hear her say this?
I think, I think she's absolutely right. I mean, I think that I know when I'm most happy is when I'm meditating, when I'm writing, and when I'm really in touch with, you know, the insides of me. My parents never really gave me a physical compliment my whole life. It was never like, you have pretty hair, you have nothing like that. It was always, if you're beautiful on the inside, that means everything. And
is it hard when people tell you that you're beautiful all the time? Do you get tired of hearing it, or do you not feel deserving of it, or?
I've never been good with compliments, but I'm starting to get better.
Well, I think that's because it's out of sync with how you must have felt about yourself for a long time, because all of us have been wounded in one way or another. And what, you know, I heard you say that you're an adult child of an alcoholic family, and when you come into the world with those kind of wounds, it's very difficult to believe that you're lovable, that you're valuable for who you are, because you're always having to prove something to your family, you're always having to caretake for them, you're always having to be special, and, you know, very often you're the adult and they're the needy, irresponsible children. Yeah, and you're still doing it because I heard you bought a house for them, so you're still maybe trying to get love from them by giving. And I
just want them to have everything.
I hope you're taking care of yourself.
I am. I'm doing better.
What about the anxiety she's experiencing?
I don't know. Sometimes anxiety is biochemical. There's something out of whack with our brain chemistry.
Right.
Do you connect it to anything that's going on right now?
Well, I think I'm just overwhelmed by a lot of things. My life has completely changed in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
But there is a disorder, an anxiety panic disorder. My mother's a real worry where it breaks out in hives and everything else. So I think that I probably have a little bit of that in me, too.
So it might be genetic as well,
Dr. Forward, you know, recently...
Susan!
Okay, Susan. All right. Well, I didn't want to be rude.
I'm not a very formal person.
But I know, but you worked hard to get that doctor in front of your name, so I wanted to give it to you.
Now I'll give it back.
Okay. Nicole Simpson, you were in the spotlight yourself recently because she was a patient when she was alive, and how did you got a sense of what it was like to be, because they were waiting out in front of your house, right? What it was like to be in that kind of eye of the storm, like Pamela is in all the time.
Right. The first few days after I went public with the fact that Nicole had been a battered wife and had been stalked and there were murder threats, the media, I had 317 calls for interviews. Now, I'm used to attention, but this was ridiculous.
Now, this is a normal day for Pamela.
This is a normal day, right. And I've certainly, you know, done a lot of media and, you know, had attention, but not in this concentrated, focused way. And I couldn't go anywhere without without camera crews from the different news shows. If I did a show, they would ambush me, you know, when I went to my car. And I did stop, and I remember one day I was with my daughter, and I said, I really am getting a sense now of why some celebrities go crazy. Because there is no privacy, there's no dignity.
And it's relentless.
You're a commodity, and people have no respect for your boundaries whatsoever. You feel so invaded and so violated. And that was just a relatively short period of time. I can't imagine, for example, a Julia Roberts who can't, you know, take a breath or a hiccup
I think in a
being
way
printed.
what Pamela's going through is even more difficult than a Julia Roberts, because television is accessible all over the world, and she is in every home every night all over the world.
And people feel they own you.
They feel they own you.
They
I have to take a break now. When we come back, the audience will ask you both questions, and later I'm going to show Pamela how to make some beach foods, because I think she should know how to cook. Don't you?
I love to cook.
Okay. Questions for Pamela Anderson or Susan Forward? Dr. Susan Forward. Yes, who's it for?
Yeah, this question is for Pamela. Who's your boyfriend?
Why do you want to know?
Oh, no reason.
His name is Brett Michaels, and he's the lead singer of Poison.
Oh, and are men intimidated by the way you look? A lot.
Pardon me?
Men intimidated by your looks?
Nah.
No?
No, but women are.
You had one more? What?
Oh, no. That
Oh, okay. All right. Yes. Yes. Who else? Yes, sir.
Pamela, I would like to know what kind of routine you go through every day to keep yourself fit and to control stress.
Well, I'm trying everything. Actually, my doctor just told me I should exercise 5 days a week because that'll keep me, you know, a little more centered. But when I'm working 15-hour days, it's really hard. I just try and I walk my dog a lot down the beach. And being on the show actually keeps me in pretty good shape because I'm always running in the sand and swimming and stuff.
And also, there's a nice energy that comes from being by the water all the time, don't you think? Yes. Yes.
Yes, this is for the doctor. I was wondering, do you think it's important for a celebrity to have someone they can talk to, someone they can confide in to keep centered?
I think it's important for everybody. I also think it's real important for celebrities to have non-celebrity friends, because I think it's very important to have some kind of grounding outside of the business. And there's just a different take on life and values and all of those things when you have some people that you're intimate with outside of the business itself.
Yes. Who else? Yes, sir.
Has has Baywatch become a stepping stone for a possible movie career?
I hope so. I really hope so.
Well, you have some movies coming out, don't you? What are the names?
I have a movie of the week coming out December 6th on CBS.
Called?
It's Mike Hammer. It's a remake of Mike Hammer called Come Dine With Me, and I play Velda, this kind of quirky
Velda.
secretary.
It's a good name for you.
Private
Velda.
eye.
Velda. Yes. Could you stand, please?
This question is for a doctor. How can depression be prevented once fame leaves?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
How can depression be prevented once fame leaves?
Oh, boy, when the music stops.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, fame is like a drug, and it's an addiction, and people need more and more and more, and there's a tremendous high and a tremendous rush from it, and there's no question that when it's taken away, there's a tremendous sense of abandonment, of feeling useless, of feeling like my life is over. And what I always suggest to actors and to people that, you know, really are famous is please have some kind of something to fall back on. have some kind of interest, even a second career. We know a lot of actors who, after their time of celebrity was over, went into other businesses and have done very well. I switched careers and went into what I'm doing now, and you know, the ironic part of it is I'm getting more media attention now than I ever did as an actress. And,
you never know.
but I'm just so glad that I
Right.
prepared myself for something else, because you never know how long it's going to last. And that's one of the ways to allay the depression, is to have some value and some importance in something else.
Pamela, if you could go back and get your anonymity back, would you choose that?
Sometimes I really do think about that. But like she says, I have a lot of outside interests. I refinish furniture. I mean, my favorite thing in the world
You
is
do?
to furniture and reupholster and paint.
I have a
and
job
just
for
love
you.
it.
Yeah,
I
come
love
to
it.
my house.
Or decorate. I'm getting my place redecorated right now. And
So
I
you
have,
really were the tool-time girl.
Yeah. And I have a restaurant opening in Beverly Hills, and so I have a lot of outside businesses.
What's the restaurant?
It's going to be in Beverly Hills. It's called Sanctuary. It's going to be in on Robertson, between Burton Way and Wilshire.
What kind
We're
of food?
opening the end of November. California. Kind of California
You
cuisine.
ain't no dumb blonde. I want to thank Dr. Susan Forward for being with us today. And when we come back, I'll show Pamela how to prepare my special salad dressing and some Tuscan food that you're going to love. Stay with us.
If you would like to attend the Suzanne Summer Show, please send a stamped self-addressed envelope to Tickets, P.O. Box 1168, 825, Studio City, California, 91604.
I just love it. You were? Oh, hi, we're back. Talking with Pamela Anderson. Pamela works on the beach in Baywatch, as you know, and I was in Tuscany last year, and I learned to make some wonderful things that aren't usual things that we eat here, and they're just starting to come to this country. You've had the baked garlic before, haven't you?
Yeah, I love that. I actually just got a little garlic bacon.
It's so healthy. The first thing I want to show you how to do is how to bake the garlic. And it's really simple. You take as many cloves as you want. I do one, depending on who you have for dinner, at least one a person, right? And you kind of brush it, you cut the top off, and then you brush the whole head with olive oil, kind of liberally. I put about a half a cup in the jar here, this, what do we call it, dish. Okay, that's all you do. Sprinkle a little salt on it. My husband's going the silent killer. You take fresh thyme, and you would take this so that it doesn't get real burned. Dip it in the oil first, okay, and then it stays real nice. Put the fresh thyme all over this, and cover it loosely like that. Put it in the oven for an hour and a half at 325, and you have
That's easy.
this, and it's fantastic. Now, what you do with that, I'll show you in a minute. So that's the first thing done. This is great stuff to take to the beach, because we're going to have baked garlic with Stilton cheese on grilled bread. Now, most people never know how to make great salad dressing. Do you?
A couple different ones, yeah.
A couple different ones? Well, you know, this French lady taught me this thing. When you cut well, this is real. See that little root right in there? If you take that out, you know you have people over who go, I can't eat garlic, I get indigestion. Take the root out, because that's what gives them the indigestion. Okay, so you take about 3 cloves of garlic, and you put it into a bowl. I like to make salad dressing fresh every time I have a salad. Do you eat a lot of salad?
Yes.
I could, like, live on salads. I think I was a rabbit
And garlic.
in another
I
life.
love garlic.
And garlic. And garlic, it has a lot of great value, doesn't it? What? Do you know?
It's,
It cleans your blood,
it cleans your blood.
because you're very into health foods and vitamins and all that. Okay,
As
so
much as
this.
I can.
Yeah. Okay, I
That's how I'm
put
sick.
3 cloves of garlic in here.